So just reach out. Reach out to that person. Use any of the ideas here to support them, but just show up. Show up with a text. Show up with your words. Maybe show up with a gift. Show up with a ride. Show up with some flowers or a smoothie. Show up with a bottle of wine that they can drink 2 months later. I mean, whatever is meaningful to you and that person and the relationship that you have with them. I just hope I encouraged you to just show up as you are with love for someone who's probably going through a hard and confusing time, and you can be present with them and for them. And that is a gift. That is a true gift. I'm Jessica Valant. I'm a physical therapist, women's health expert, and Pilates teacher, and my goal is to help all women feel strong, safe, and secure in their bodies. In this podcast, I'll share expert advice, facts, amazing guests, stories, compassion, and hope to help you meet your body in all seasons of life. Hi, and welcome back to Meet Your Body. I am so happy to have you here today. We're talking about one of the most common questions I get, which is how to support a loved one who has been diagnosed with breast cancer and may be going through treatment and or a mastectomy. So most of you know that in late 2023, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I had a double mastectomy 6 weeks after that. And I do have podcast episodes and YouTube videos where I describe that experience, how I was diagnosed, the type of cancer I had, why I had a mastectomy, why that was the right course of treatment or recommended course of treatment for me personally. I answer all of those questions. And so I will have links below to those things. Most of it is covered in my FAQs podcast episode I did. So I did a breast cancer frequently asked questions episode, and I kind of cover all of those things. So you can definitely go back and hear the whole story. But this episode is specifically dedicated to how you can support someone in your life who has been diagnosed with breast cancer and might be going through treatment or surgery. And so these are really, really practical things to help that person. And I will have links to all of these below. So I'm going to have an entire resource category below. So please check that out. And a couple things to kind of keep in mind. The obvious things are that everyone is different. So these are the things that I found were really, really helpful to me during that time. But again, everyone is different. What you can give is different. What someone might want is different. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Everyone is different. Number two, think about what they need, what that person might need, or just even that person's personality. Again, knowing we're all different, we do tend to give in a way that we would want to receive. And that makes sense. But I do encourage you to think a little bit about that person and again, just their personality. I am someone who sometimes tends to want to be alone when I am dealing with something, but I never want to feel alone. And so for me, it wasn't top of mind or top choice to always have people around. I needed a lot of rest. I needed a lot of quiet during that time. I just wanted to hibernate with my little family. I didn't have really anything to give back to someone. I mean, I had drains, I had wraps, I had scars, I had stitches, I couldn't move my arms. So I wasn't in a place that I wanted to receive a lot of visitors, but I never wanted to feel alone. I wanted to know that there were people thinking of me, praying for me, loving on me, all of those things. So just think about that. And the person you're supporting might be opposite. That's not everyone, but you do want to think about kind of that situation. And then the final thing I want to say, and this is really the most important, just reach out. Anything counts. Like any thought, any gift, anything you can do is truly appreciated. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just do something, even if it's a text. I think, and this is across the board, we sometimes avoid reaching out to someone in need because we don't know the right thing to say. In air quotes, I'm saying the right thing to say. We don't know the right thing to say. So a lot of times it holds us back from saying anything. And a couple months will go by and you'll say, gosh, I always wanted to reach out to that person and I never did. Let me tell you right now, you will not say the wrong thing. Just do it. Shoot a text. Anything. Write a note. Leave it on the front porch. Shoot a text. Write an email. Send a song. Say, this song made me think of you today. Send a book. Whatever is on your mind, anything is appreciated. Truly, truly. That being said, let me talk you through some gifts that, again, I think were just very, very important to me, really practical, and can be really helpful for people in no particular order. So one is a sweatshirt from a charity called Hope Chest. And again, I'm going to have the link below directly that you can order one. So I have a dear friend here in Denver who was a great support to me, who had gone through a mastectomy prior to me. So she was a great support to me during that time. And out of her experience, she started a nonprofit called Hope Chest. And they offer sweatshirts, specialized sweatshirts, to women going through a mastectomy. And these sweatshirts are zip up and they have drain holders inside. And let me tell you, if you haven't been through it, you might not know about the drains. The drains are a really big deal after a mastectomy. And you have them for a couple weeks, okay? And they're drains that come out and they go with you everywhere you go because they're attached to you. And you have to wear things to hold the drains. You need drain holders. And these sweatshirts are, like I said, zip up, so you can get into them really easy. They're cozy sweatshirts, and they hold your drains. And this sweatshirt I wore every single day for 2 weeks. And it was so lovely and practical, but also such an important gift because I realized I wasn't the only one going through that. And so this charity provides sweatshirts to women who may need them by donating them to hospitals. And you can go onto their website and you can donate and order a sweatshirt to be sent to your loved one. And I highly recommend that. If nothing else, it is such, like I said, a practical thing they will need. And I'm not kidding you, having that cozy sweatshirt on, just every time I had it on, I knew I wasn't alone. I knew I was a part of a community of women going through the same thing. So that is a really big one I recommend to people, is ordering that Hope Chest sweatshirt, because you're doing something practical and really lovely for your loved one while also donating to a really good cause. So we'll have the link below. And again, you can just go on the website and click, donate a sweatshirt, and it will be sent to your loved one anywhere in the world. So that is one thing. The next idea is anything homemade. And I say this only if that happens to be your jam, okay? It isn't for me. I don't tend to, that is not my gift to make homemade items. So you don't need to, but receiving them, oh my goodness, I received a blanket from 2 dear friends that they had made, and I use it to this day. I mean, that blanket stayed on my legs all the time during that recovery period. It was like I was wrapped in a hug, just the beauty of it and the thought of it and the love that went into it. So that was a really lovely gift for me. I received homemade drain holders from a woman in my unlimited community who had been through this before. I received just cards, homemade cards from families, like a friend, family friends that included our kids and their friends, with drawings from the kids. I mean, all of those things lit up my heart. So really, I'm not kidding when I say anything but homemade items. If that is something in your skill set, if that is your love language, please know homemade items are very much appreciated. The next one, a large water bottle. So you can't lift your arms if you've had a mastectomy. You can't lift your arms away from your body for a certain period of time. And you also need to stay really, really, really hydrated after surgery. So any kind of water bottle with a straw that they don't necessarily have to lift to their mouth all the time, that has a straw, that holds a lot of water, I think is a really nice practical gift. Another one, this one is, I think I'm saying this is really important to all of these, but again, I'm just telling you all of these were important to me. So I couldn't shower for 2 weeks after my mastectomy. I couldn't be in the shower. I could take a bath, but only up to my waist because I could not, the drains absolutely cannot get wet. My scars could not get wet, which meant I couldn't wash my hair. Now you might be saying, oh, you could just flip your hair upside down under a sink. Sure. Yes, I've been known to do that on many occasions. After this invasive extreme surgery, I absolutely could not get into that position to do that. Like, it is not possible. I tried to have my husband and my daughter wash my hair. They were able to do that at one point. It was very kind. I think I cried my way through it because it was just so kind of them to do it. But that too, it was not a comfortable position. I was trying to get into the bath to do it. My head was at a weird angle. So I knew I needed and wanted just a really good hair wash and hair dry. So I called my hairstylist and I said, is there any way you can get me in? I don't need a cut. I just would love it to be washed and dried. And her and her husband now own this little salon. They opened on a day that they were closed. They got me in. They didn't charge me. I have tears, sorry, thinking about it because it was just one of those kindnesses I will never forget. How kind that was of them to do that. So my husband drove me. I was able, like, those are the chairs, right? I could get in comfortably. I could get in a chair, support my head, tip back. She washed my hair and she dried it. So gift cards to like a dry bar or to your loved one's favorite stylist, just for that. No, I did not want a big haircut style hair color. That was the last thing I wanted. I just wanted some loving hands to wash my hair and dry my hair for a day to get me through those 2 weeks. And it was lovely. So again, maybe you can make it a thing. Say, I will drive you, because that person can't drive for a couple weeks. I will drive you. I will sit with you. I'll give you some hot tea and you can sit and have your hair washed and dried in a safe environment. So that was really lovely. And that leads me to rides. Like, that's a big one. You can offer rides, offer them rides to follow-up doctor appointments, offer the kids rides to and from school, anyone that they're a caretaker for. I have young kids. My kids were young at the time, and people rallying around to take care of the kids was really, really important to me. So offering rides, hey, I am around. Like, I'm around all day Tuesday. Do you need me? Do your kids need me? Do you need some groceries? Do you need me to pick up a prescription from you? And I'm telling you, sometimes you just need to be clear. Don't text and say, I'm here, whatever you need, reach out. Because if that person's like me, they're not going to reach out. I'm not going to take the initiative because I don't want to be a burden, right? I'm independent. I'm bad at delegating. I don't want to be a burden. But if you text me and say, I'm at Whole Foods right now, I am driving by your house on my way home and I would like to bring you some groceries. Tell me what you need. Or I would really like to bring you some food for tonight, for dinner for your family. Tell me what you want because I'm coming by and I'll drop it on your front porch. That I can answer. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yes. Thank you. Will you grab me some macaroni and cheese from that hot bar? Will you grab me? We're out of milk and the kids need milk for their cereal in the morning and I need this. Like, these 3 things would be so helpful. I think that's really important. So the rides is a part of that. Like, when's your next doctor's appointment? I am off that morning and I would love to drive you. Like, I can just drive and wait in the car and drive you home. So rides are really great, but also that idea of take the initiative and just say that, like, be really clear. I am open this day. Tell me what I can do for you. Or again, even more clear, I'm going to school anyway. I know our kids have soccer together. Let me grab your daughter afterwards and I'll just bring her home for you. Or yeah, I'm at the store. Tell me exactly what you need and I'll bring it to you. I'm coming that way anyway. Those kind of things are really helpful. Picking up prescriptions, those kind of things. So the next idea is gifts for the kids. So I actually asked for this specifically when people asked, what can we do for you beforehand? My number one thing, and I've been through a lot, I've been through 6 surgeries, and I believe 4 of them are since we've had kids. Is that right? Yeah, 4 since we've had kids. For me, my number one thing is always, are the kids okay? Like for my husband too, when he wants, obviously he's taking care of me, but I'm always like, first thing is, what do the kids need? Because that actually makes me feel more calm. Okay. That's just who I am. I'm going to feel more calm. My nervous system is better. I will heal better if I know everything they need is taken care of. And so knowing that I wouldn't be able to play and do the things I normally do, I was like, hey, can you get a couple new Lego sets for the kids so that they can like sit by me, right? I will be laying on the couch. They can sit near me and we can chat, but they will be occupied with something and happy, like puzzle books, maze books, Lego sets, those kind of things. You guys, not like kinetic sand, okay? If you're listening to this, don't get messy things. Don't get Play-Doh. Don't get a slime kit. Don't get kinetic sand. Do not get anything that woman has to clean up. All right. But things that the kids like that will keep them busy, keep them occupied, but that mom can be next to them, like new books. That would be, now that my kids are a little older, new books would be really great. I don't know, like a month subscription to Netflix or something that they can sit and watch movies together, like with mom. Those might be, again, it's situation dependent, but that might be really nice. And then if they don't have kids, I'm going to say the same thing for pets. Okay. Do they need their pets walked? Do they need the dogs walked? Like, can you come walk the dogs for 2 weeks? Can you hire a dog walking service? Can you hire a cleaning service for a month? That also will be person dependent. Don't do it without finding out if they want that, because they actually might not want someone in their house while they're healing. Like, it's person dependent. But those things really helpful. Can you get toys for the dogs? I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, think through those things of what is that person not really going to be able to do for a couple weeks? Can you go over and say, I'm coming over for an hour this morning. You go take a nap. Do what you need to do. I will be there for an hour and I'm going to do laundry and I'm going to fold it because I couldn't fold laundry for 2 weeks. Have them make an Amazon wish list. I also did this. That was really helpful because people couldn't pick out like the exact post mastectomy bras I needed. Those kind of things, like some of those personal things. I also put the water bottle on there. I put a couple Lego sets for the kids because people were asking me, what can we do to help? What do you need? And I just had a few specific things like that in mind of, that might be really helpful. And so I made an Amazon wish list and I shared it with just a few. I did not share it publicly, but, extended family who weren't sure how to help, who did not live here close to us. This was like specifically for them, for family and friends who didn't live close, who really wanted to help and kept asking me how they could. I shared it with maybe 5, 6 people so that I didn't feel, weird about it, but I shared it. And that was really helpful because I got specifically what I needed. And so you might even, again, if it's a family member, and if it's someone that you know well, a really close friend, really close family member, that you want to take a little bit of charge, you can ask them, hey, will you make an Amazon wish list? I'm going to be in charge of sending this out to our friend group, or I'm going to be in charge of taking care of this, but will you take 10 minutes to make it? Or just take 10 minutes and tell me what would be helpful on it. I will make it and send the link to people. And you can do the same for a meal train. All right. So if you haven't, I think most of you at this point have been in charge of a meal train. Probably like one of the top most helpful things that a friend did for me was create a meal train. All she did was ask me, what time at night would it be helpful for us to drop this off? And what are your dietary preferences? Like, our daughter's vegetarian, we're allergic to garlic, which is true. So those were the 2 things. And then she took charge. She sent it to our friend group, to anyone she could think of that would be helpful, said, please drop it off on their front porch. Because that's another thing. She asked, do you want to see people or do you not? And I said, I don't know. Half the time I might be asleep. So she just said, all right, we're just going to have them drop it on the front porch. And I put a cooler on the front porch. And so she told everyone, there's a cooler on the front porch, drop it off, anytime between 4 and 6. These are the dietary preferences. And I'm not kidding. We had meals for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Amazing. The most just truly loving, appreciated thing. And even if people couldn't drop food, they signed up and dropped off a DoorDash or Uber Eats gift card, which that alone, if you're not a part of a meal train, send an Uber Eats or a DoorDash gift card, because the last thing that we can do during that time is think about cooking. And honestly, physically, you can barely lift a pan. Like, you just can't really cook for a couple weeks. So really, really, really helpful, those things. I'm looking at my list. Making insurance calls, and this I know is really dependent on your relationship with the person, but let's say it's your mom. Let's say it is a really close family member, your best friend, your sister. Sitting down with them and, taking an hour or so to say, hey, who do we need to call? Like, what do we need to do? I will help. Do you need to make specific appointments? Who is your follow-up? Who needs to be a follow-up? What prescriptions do you need renewed? Do you need any calls to find out if something's covered? Sometimes you'll have to sit with the person to do it, because if you don't have power of attorney, you might not be able to do it for them. But if they're sitting right there with you, you can put them on the phone and say, yeah, see, they give me permission. I'm going to do this. But just the mental power that it takes to do all of that is a lot on that person. I've been through a lot of health things and a lot of diagnoses and a lot of surgeries. And I can tell you there's something really unique about a cancer diagnosis that just knocks you out mentally. It is sudden, it is really scary, and it's accompanied by a big amount of brain fog and immediate doctor needs. I mean, there is no time to process. You are thrown into test upon test upon test and scheduling, and you don't know what's covered, all of that. So just having someone to sit with you, like sometimes before surgery, sometimes after, just having someone to sit and say, you know what, I'm going to help you make this spreadsheet. Let's write it all down. What questions do you need to ask the doctor? That is really, really helpful. And if you want to take that role on, I have an entire podcast episode about how to be an advocate for yourself and those you love in the healthcare industry. And that might be something you want. Again, if you're going to take that role on, which a lot of times might be a sister or a mom, daughter situation, that can be helpful. I know that's a unique one, but I just wanted to throw it out there. I talked about food. There's another unique kind of place you can sometimes go. There are many charities when it comes to breast cancer, and I am recording this and posting it in October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. There's a lot of charities out there, and many of them you can just put your loved one's name and address in, and they will send them boxes of many different things. And I had people do that for me, some even anonymous. I don't even know who did it. And again, very, very thoughtful. So I received boxes, and they would have, again, sometimes like a drain holder, sometimes just a lovely hat, or, something like that. Sometimes I used the things, sometimes they weren't practical for me, but it was the thought that counts. And it was so nice. I just felt cared for and not forgotten. And I think that's really important during that time. And then finally, I'll say just all of the things. Like I got books from people, candles. I got a lovely package from good friends with Epsom salts and bubble bath and this scraper thing, like an automatic scraper thing for my feet to give myself a pedicure. I got slippers, zip up sweatshirts. I got a vase. I got a mug that had all these different drawings of breasts on it with a nice message. All of those things were so kind. That's what I'm telling you, is there's nothing, you can't do anything wrong, okay? Just give from your heart. That's it. And I couldn't use all of those things. I will say, like, I couldn't use the bubble bath. I couldn't use the Epsom salts. I couldn't use the pedicure thing. I couldn't use all that for a couple weeks. But knowing it was there it filled my heart. And I still use that pedicure thing now, 2 years later, by the way, because it was so handy and it was so nice. Books were really nice to have to sit and read. So just reach out. Reach out to that person. Use any of the ideas here to support them. Donate to a charity in their name if that seems like something that would be helpful. But just show up. Show up with a text. Show up with your words. Maybe show up with a gift. Show up with a ride. Show up with some flowers or a smoothie. Show up with a bottle of wine that they can drink 2 months later. I mean, whatever is meaningful to you and that person and the relationship that you have with them. So hopefully some of those ideas are really practical and helpful to you. And then also I just hope I encouraged you to just show up as you are with love for someone who's probably going through a hard time, a hard and confusing time, and you can be present with them and for them. And that is a gift. That is a true gift. So thank you. Thank you for listening. And thank you to anyone listening who was that person to me during that time and continues to be. I truly, truly appreciate it and so thankful. I will have all those links for you below, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for listening today. I would love it if you could take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. It means a lot to us, and it helps our content get out to more women who need it. You can find more of my resources at my website, jessicavalant.com, or find me on YouTube at Jessica Valant and Instagram at Jessica S. Valant.